Did you know that feeding your lawn twice in the fall is a major key to a successful, great-looking turf? And feeding twice with Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron is the best choice for your lawn and all types of lawns. Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron has 2 types of nitrogen to provide fast, immediate greening as well as long-term stable growth. Now, Lawn Food Plus Iron is a 2404 fertilizer with trace elements plus the right amount of iron for that extra greening power. And Fertilome's advanced coating technology provides a gradual, consistent nutrient release when your lawn needs it. Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron, the perfect lawn food for both fall feedings, comes in 2 Plus Iron twice this fall for the best-looking lawn in the neighborhood, unless, of course, your neighbors use it too. You can find Fertilome lawn fertilizers and other great Fertilome products only at your favorite independent garden center or nursery. Find a retailer near you at Fertilome.com. That's Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron.
That's today's news. Now the weather, Flip Skipperton. Flip.
Really nice autumn weather, Doug, so now's a good time to think about horrible, nasty, icky winter.
Flip, why are we talking about
horrible, nasty, icky winter?
What happened to Fantastic Flip's 5-day forecast?
Forget that. We're talking Ohio winter. Ladies and gentlemen, heed my call. Contact Apex Pros. Schedule that so important furnace tune-up right now.
A furnace tune-up on such a nice day.
Apex Pros tune-ups keeps your furnace from breaking down in the horrible, nasty, icky winter.
A breakdown would be inconvenient.
Inconvenient, Doug. Easy for you to say with your fancy hair and nice teeth.
What did I do?
Apex Pros tune-ups makes your furnace last longer and promises to lower energy bills. And it's just $29. You'd be silly not to.
Flip, you're going a little overboard.
I'm under consideration for the most over-exaggerated weatherman in the country award, so help me out here.
Yeah, well,
Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Your station for news, traffic, and weather in Central Ohio. News Radio 610 WTVN Columbus. WODC HD2 Asheville. An iHeartRadio station.
Hey Zach, we don't hear anything out the front yet.
Hello.
I can hear you now. It's not coming out the front though, I don't think. Oh, maybe it is. It just doesn't have the radio stuff yet.
You can't hear what's going on right now, you mean?
Yeah, thanks, Jakey. No, not yet, but that's okay. I mean, you just had the news pare down or whatever. Aha, there it is.
The strike at a Toledo glass company is dragging into its 2nd month.
The strike at Libby Glass in Toledo is now in its 8th week, one of the longest in Northwest Ohio in recent years. Dozens of workers have returned to the job as financial pressures
whenever you get a chance, just let me know the last
remain on the picket line pushing for higher wages and affordable health care. Union leaders say they're helping striking families cover rent and utilities as talks remain stalled and the company operates with a limited crew. Libby workers have been without a contract since last fall. I'm Travis Lake.
All right, that's going to be the last one.
A man who was killed in a Wednesday afternoon shooting in Akron has been identified by authorities. 31-year-old Demir Body was shot at a home on Mohawk Avenue and later died at the hospital. No arrests have been made. A pair of Ohio lawmakers are working to remove a Hamilton County judge over some recent Facebook posts.
In the aftermath of the killing of Charlie Kirk, Hamilton County Municipal Judge Ted Berry posted on Facebook that his death was karma, saying that Kirk spewed hate, division, and racism. State Rep Adam Matthews of Lebanon put out a statement saying that's not how he thinks a neutral arbiter of the law should conduct themselves, and he called on Berry to resign for ethics violations. Judge Berry is set to retire in January, but the Inquirer is reporting that Matthews and State Rep Swearingen have now filed a resolution to remove Berry from the bench. That would ultimately take a 2/3 vote in the State House and Senate to accomplish. I'm Jack Crumley.
The Columbus Division of Police is asking residents to complete a questionnaire related to domestic violence. CPD leaders posted a link to their community perception survey on the division's Facebook page Thursday. City officials have reported an uptick in deadly domestic violence incidents in recent years. I'm Andy Betts.
Your latest news, traffic, and weather.
If you're not informed, then you're out of the loop.
All you have to do is ask.
Play 610 WTVN on iHeartRadio.
Meet Greg Taylor of LegacyRetirementGroup.com.
The plan determines the positions we hold. And that's so important because the plan is essentially helping you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve.
Just a one-liner.
Being able to just pay your bills, hang out with your family, or whether it's travel. I mean, everybody's why for retirement is a little different. But the way we invest should be based upon what it is we're trying to achieve.
More next hour on 610 WTVN.
Save big money at Menards and stock up on your favorite Procter & Gamble products. We carry quality products from brands you can trust, like Dawn, Tide, Bounty, and more. Right now, get a $10 instant savings on a single qualifying purchase of $40 or more on Procter & Gamble products. Now through October 19th, head to Menards to get a great deal on qualifying Procter & Gamble products. Plus, view the weekly flyer for other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Let us know at the Curtis and
Associates Here we go. This
traffic
last one,
tip
guys.
line at 821-1111. Curtis and Associates. Trust and experience of attorneys who care.
I'm still amazed at the show that is going to be coming up shortly today. We've had a ton of guests over the years, 13 years actually. We've had Hickok 45 here, Eric Trump, senators, so many more. And but today, one of our guests is one of the most iconic ones we've ever had on the show. Revolutionary, and after 48 years is still at the top of his game. Today, we are so excited to welcome as a first-time guest to the show. Well, let's just get started. On Target is next.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Good afternoon and welcome to On Target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility. If you don't know where that's at 999-999 Bethel Road, just west of 315. Make sure you put that in your phone because you're going to need it for next week. JC, I think that was a little bit of a butthead move. I go and tease this guy who's coming and don't say it. We'll talk about it. I'll tell you who it is here in a minute. But
they will recognize the name.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, guys, we are the owners of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility and are active in law enforcement. But for 1 hour on Saturdays, we put together a group of firearm experts to discuss new products in the market, training tips, and oftentimes political topics surrounding the Second Amendment.
Oftentimes.
Our commitment, though, has always been to bring you facts about our industry and help customers and listeners with safe, responsible ownership of firearms. Today on the show, you know what? We opened up the phone lines last week, JC.
Yeah.
No one called.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of people sending us emails, and the reason for that, on target at LEPD.com is the email address. Next week is the big guest. Next week, Columbus City Prosecutor Zach Klein is going to be sitting here in studio with us. Come join us next week in studio. Come see it live in person. But last week we said, hey, if you want us to ask a question, send us some emails, give us a call, and we had a bunch of people do that on target at LEPD.com. Continue to do that. We're putting it together for next week. It should be a great, interesting conversation, And so that will you're not going to want to miss that. Today, JC is going to get you caught up on news. Actually, pretty crummy news, but he is going to get you caught up on that. The gun of the week. 2 hints, Ed. 2 hints of the gun of the week. Don't go spilling it. I'll turn your mic off.
No. What?
Okay, 2 hints for the gun of the week. One is my shirt. What's my shirt say?
What's wrong with my mic? There it goes. All right, I won't tell anybody. I know somebody that's going to want it real bad when he hears it.
Yep. So
besides you,
the first hint is JC. What's my shirt today?
It says "Make revolvers great again."
Great. That's a great hint.
They've always been great.
That is
to
a
me.
good hint.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is it comes yet again from one of the distributors in the industry who's kind of at the forefront with these specials. It's a Lispsey Special. And if you remember correctly, Lispsey's is the one who came out, and everyone in the studio audience is cheering because they've all bought them, the 32 H&R Magnum Snub Nose.
Right.
Yeah.
There is yet another one now that we're going to talk about here shortly.
I might have to take a loan out for this one.
You guys are all, I can't believe how excited you guys are about that one.
It is beautiful.
I
know.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Okay, Christmas is around the corner. Right?
You're going to buy it for me for Christmas?
Because somebody might.
Right.
Santa will.
Guys, at 12:30. Okay, I can't.
And I know him personally.
I can't hold it in any.
And that's who'll buy it.
This is not on script, guys.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Guys, at 12:30, I'm not going to hold it anymore.
Who's it going to be?
Bill Wilson is calling in
the
iconic Wilson
Combat.
Yes, he is calling in. What I don't even want to call it a career. What
he's just an icon
in
the competition industry, and he continues to do that, and it's amazing. So it's amazing.
So Bill's going to call in, talk about what it was like in 1977 when he opened up the store in the back of his parents' jewelry shop, and what it's evolved to today. So we're going to be happy to hear from him at 12:30. Yeah, I was 7. And, of course, guys, don't forget, as we mentioned, next week, Saturday, mark your calendars. Come see the show live. It's going to be a heck of a show. I think we've cleared out some commercials for it. It's going to be, hopefully, a good run. We'll have some time to have a good discussion with Columbus City Prosecutor Zach Klein. I'd like to thank our sponsors, U.S. Law Shield, Jackson Egress Windows, Blackwing Shooting Center, River's Edge Cutlery, and, of course, LEPD Training Facility, all who make the show possible each week. Joining me today, you've already heard their voices. I got Big Ed to my right. Ed, have you ever been so... have we ever been so excited to see you as we were today?
No, I don't. No. It wasn't me that you were excited to see, but that's okay.
You've kind of gone to the dogs, I think.
I have.
But that's why we're excited.
You had to drive your puppy here today.
I did.
So
I left one at home and brought one in.
You might have a hard time getting it out of Lori's hands.
Yeah,
I know. That, she's been bugging me since I got him to bring him in, and
the dog's the puppy's name is.
The one that's with me today is Tank Williams Jr.
Tank Williams Jr. So I'm liking that.
That's the voice of JC to my left. JC, did you see? I don't know if we talked about this or not. I did a story this week with Channel 10.
Yeah.
Great reporter Carla, and it was about the tragedy of this 9-year-old finding a firearm and shooting himself. And it just seems like we talk about this all the time with nothing changing. But one of the things that, and I always try with these young reporters to give them some advice, especially when you're dealing in the firearms industry and with firearms owners, because we're pretty sensitive to how things are reported, because we know that words do matter.
Sure do.
And in this case, when her story was very good, but when the anchorman kicked it off to her, he said this. Now tell me, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm too sensitive in this, but he says, hey, we're going to go to Carla here. She's going to talk about the 9-year-old who was handling a gun and it went off. I said, Carla, it didn't go off. He pulled the trigger. I mean, it's unfortunate, it's a tragedy. Yeah. It didn't go off. I said, you're implying that this is like holding a stick of dynamite that's on, it's lit, and I was holding it and boom, it went off. No, it didn't just go off. And it might be a little nuance, but I think it matters.
But it's important, yeah. I mean, especially people who are just uninitiated in firearms, like, oh my goodness, our teenagers can't even And
Right.
I've seen that in action where someone had a gun that was laying on a table and everyone was walking around like it was a bomb and it was a fuse lit. And I said, well, let's just make it
It's
safe.
because of
So,
this. It's
yeah.
because, and now I'm sure they didn't do it, intentionally or whatever, but still, it was, the way that comes across, it is implied that it's just so dangerous and so volatile. It could just at any time, innocently enough, you're holding it and it goes off.
Well, let me tell you, I have a.
Other than SIG 320s, but
I have a. I have a 6 hour. It's not the 320, but I purchased it when I got in law enforcement way back in the day, and that gun has remained loaded since the day I bought it, except for when I'm cleaning it, obviously. And that gun has never went off.
Never did.
It's
never has.
It's over 30 years.
Wow.
That gun has sat in my cabinet.
Ticking time bomb.
I know. Over 30 years, and it's never gone off. It's never said a word to me.
Yep.
Really?
Never.
No.
My guns talk to me. I don't know. So, JC, what kind of news you got for us?
A ton of stuff, and none of it's really good. Okay, this is a biggie. We talked about this before, but now some of the rest of the story comes out. Governor Newsom last Friday, so I didn't get it before the last show, signed the bill banning Glocks in the state of California. So when I say banning the sale by licensed dealers. Individuals can still keep their Glocks. They're banned. You're allowed to have the models, the Series 1, 2, and 3, but never will you be able to get a Glock Series 4 or 5 or whatever they come up with, because their specifications are magazine release a block. They have to have a safety on it. They have to have several variations that Glock is not going to do. But anyway, so this law that just passed, and it was aimed, of course, at, pun intended, I guess, the new law bans, the sale of pistols. But Newsom's deputy director of communications, put it out there that, and I agree with the first part of it. Americans agree that machine guns don't belong in the hands of, people on the street. But she said, through a design defect, some semi-automatics sold today allow anyone with a screwdriver and an internet access to convert these to fully automatic firearms. So I guess she means orange juice, vodka. Is that what she said? Anyone with a screwdriver and internet access can do this. She forgot that you also have to have the part with the switch. So anyway, she said the law requires the Glock to fix it before they have to have parts. They'll never have a 4 or 5 or whatever, but they want them to be able to fix the 1, 2s, and 3s, and that's not going to happen either. So this move escalates the efforts to reduce the number of guns in California.
I didn't realize we were talking about Lala.
Yeah, there you go. So National Rifle Association, Firearms Policy Coalition, and the Second Amendment Foundation, they just said, look, this is an unconstitutional attempt to outlaw, some of the most common firearms. Actually, it is probably the number one firearm brand overall that people recognize in the United States. So it is that common. So they filed this Tuesday. They filed, of course, a lawsuit challenging this law, and they just said, look, the Supreme Court has already held that handguns are in common use and they cannot be banned, and the Glocks are probably the most common use. At least Glock claims that in the United States. So it said the Constitution does not allow elitist politicians to decide constitutionally protected guns and who may own what. And anyway, that's where they're going to go. This will, of course, go to the Ninth Circuit. So the Ninth Circuit has been like 50-0, I think I talked about, on cases except for one. So against anything pro-gun, they just are not pro-gun folks. All right, so the language, this is what's kind of surprising. It appears to bar dozens of Glock models, but it says, as well as, in their words, not mine, a slew of pistols from other makers. And it says it doesn't name them, but they said the guns from the manufacturers like Smith & Wesson, Shadow Arms, Deria, and FMK firearms may also be implicated in this ban. And then I'm kind of interested in what Smith & Wesson's followed to that. But anyway, so there you go. Here's some other news. This kind of surprised me because of the judges that did it. But appeals court upholds the New York ammo background check law. So anytime you're going to buy any ammo, you've got to have a background check. You buy it this week, you come in 2 days later and want some more, you're going to have a background check and pay for it. It's not a freebie.
This is in New York?
This is in New York. So a unanimous 3-judge panel for the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, so it's not the en banc court, but the first step, the 3-judge panel on Wednesday just upheld the lower court's denial of the preliminary injunction against the New York law. The panel reasoned that the background check requirement imposed only a modest condition on the commercial sale of ammo and thus did not even implicate the Second Amendment. Now, the lower court, which was just a single judge, and it was a county judge, it was a district county judge, denied the initial request to block the law, and they said that basically ammunition background check requirement is consistent with the well-recognized historical tradition of preventing dangerous individuals from possessing weapons. So this is now going to be the new thing that you're going to come up with. And here's the thing that surprised me again on this one. All 3 appeals court judges were Trump appointees. And that really, floored me. Actually, I had to go check that out.
So everybody's going to flee from New York and go to other states, buy their ammo, and come home.
Well, yeah, maybe, but in California, that's probably against the law there. All right, quickies. Supreme Court rejected hearing a pot and guns case that came up. It just declined to take up the U.S. versus Baxter. Guy had a gun. He was pulled over. He had pot, and they said, "Hey, you're a felon," you're now going to be a felon. So he's appealed it and went all the way up to Supreme Court, and they said, we don't think you're ready to do that yet. That's not what they said. They rejected it without comment and just ordered the lower court to rehear that case. So,
wait for more money.
Now here's good news. One bit of good news. If you have been waiting on your suppressor because of the government shutdown, they decided the people that did that were declared as unessential, and so it's just all stopped. Well, this came from Cam Evans because he had a personal conversation. So the ATF hasn't been able to process those for several weeks due to the Schumer shutdown. But Cam Edwards spoke with the American Suppressor Association president, Knox Williams, and he mentioned that he'd been working with the White House and administration to bring the examiners back, and now they're considered essential, and starting Monday, they're going to start processing your suppressor. So.
Perfect. Good way to end that, JC. Let's jump to a break on the other side. We're going to talk to our Gun of the Week that is sponsored this week by U.S. Law Shield. Kind of a neat one. Actually, you guys are a little bit more into it than I thought of, but we'll see that on the other side. We're on Target, broadcasting live from the studios of LEPD Firearms and Range. We'll be back right after the break.
Well, live from the heart of college football, it's the best Buckeye coverage. Brought to you by 10 Star Heating and Cooling Products and Classic Air. Also by Schneider Downs, Central Ohio Contractors, and by ServPro. This is straight talk and insight from our Buckeye experts you can't hear anywhere else. Game day and every day. Your home for the best Buckeye coverage is News Radio 610 WTVN.
I got that too.
2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Right now.
Jelly Roll! Hi, this is Ed Sheeran.
Middle finger.
Brian Adams.
Make some
My
noise.
middle finger, I got it. Both hands.
We have Room 5. Good evening. Hey, this is John Bogarty.
This is when I wake up in the morning,
And
my hand
so
more
much more.
See it all at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival
No, I'm not
presented by
entertaining.
Capital
What
One. Streaming
did
only
they
on
do besides
Hulu
just
right
take a
now.
Get Eco.
Aaron bought 41 new trucks, so we can send a
What are
rescue
people
technician to
saying,
your
anything?
home immediately when you have a problem.
just asking
When
about
something
my
is
gun,
acting
asking
wonky,
about
My wife had
our
her,
guys can
so I had to
unlock
switch her to
anything.
the
brought up my
Get
T7
Eco.
and
Get
everything
Eco.
else.
Get
What they
handle that
were,
now.
what
My
they
friends,
did
it's
in
your main Honda
77.
of Dublin. It's no tricks, just deals, including a 2025 Accord
Encouraged
LX.
him to
For
five
$1,936
hand surgery
at LEPD.com.
tearing tendons out, sewing up bone, sticking it in.
for 36 months. See dealer for details.
Football, friends, and a broken furnace? Not on our watch. Avoid cold surprises and choose TempStar from Classic Air. Get your heating system inspected now. For warmth all
We'll do
winter,
this one,
it's Classic Air, your personal
next week.
comfort
I think
expert. Call
this is
today,
one-
614-210-3041.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers
They said that you could
and Tears.
a lawsuit
Okay,
to
so
go
like
against
everybody
Barack
deals with
because
losing, right?
they
To a rival
deliberately
on a last-second field
designed
goal,
handgun
whatever. It's fine. I'm totally fine.
deliberately
But I cope
and they
with losing
marketed it in a way
with
that promoted
ice-cold
illegal
Dr.
conversion.
Pepper.
That it?
Wow.
Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football.
That's crazy.
It's a
been
Pepper
around
thing.
for the 80s.
Care Heating and
so
Cooling.
now people are just
when
now
you need a
thinking,
company
here we go.
you can trust. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Here ABC6, first warning weather, sun and clouds, warm and breezy, 81, JC, high of 81 out there. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, low of 62. Sunday, rain and thunderstorms are likely, breezy, high of 68. Currently 71 degrees on your severe weather station, News Radio 610, WTVN.
News, traffic, weather, talk. 610 WTVN.
I guess I underestimated how long the intro is on this, JC.
It was a little long?
Yeah. Here.
It's good to be king.
This is a shout out to President Trump. Good to be king.
Oh.
Be there in velvet.
Guys, if you're not at the, what is it, No Kings rally? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Do we have any kings around here?
Yeah, our mayor. Ginther. I mean, everything that I thought that was about was getting
Yeah, we need to protest. You know, have you ever protested?
Well, on the air I protested.
But have you ever gone? I mean, we need to go.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I did do the March on Washington for the kicks of it back in 1969. So I was one of.
You got to buy a pass on that.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah.
Guys, before we go to the gun of the week and stuff, I ordered my new plates this year for my car. I'm a little bit concerned though. JC, is this concerning? This is what they sent me.
I don't know. It was really. It's a beautiful color though.
Hey,
I'll
party tag.
I'll drink to that.
Yes.
I mean, it's a
party tag, baby. How'd you get that, Eric?
Well, you know what? I'm ashamed to say I bought it on eBay. What we're looking at here, you really need to watch on Facebook and YouTube because you kind of get the visual on this. But these are the party plates. You know what? And I bought this because the young kids around here, they don't know what the heck it is.
Yeah.
And if you were to force someone to put on
display
it on their car, they would cry. You know, because you're calling them out. But in the day, this is what we did, and
they don't do that anymore.
No,
I don't know when they stopped, but I had seen a few of those.
I've
but now
seen them
people
out
are
there.
saying that, oh gee, now I'm being ostracized just because I'm a drunken driver. So you only got that after 5 times, I think, or something. Or
was it that long?
Maybe it was 3 times. 5 times used to go to jail for about 18 months. So.
Guys, the gun of the week is up next. It's brought to you by U.S. Law Shield, our good friends over there. This one, Lispsey's is one of our distributors. We get a lot of stuff from them. But any of these distributors can do a special, so they can get with Smith. We'll make them. And Lispsey's, if you remember, has been kind of in that revolver realm in these specials and teamed up with Smith for what we've been saying for a long time. A beautiful snub nose and 32 H&R Magnum. I wish it was in 327 Magnum.
Right.
Yeah, listen to the crowd out there on that. Because half of them bought them after we talked about them last time.
The 327 required a longer frame, so that's why they didn't do that. So,
But this one, guys, just came out within the last month or so. It's another Smith & Wesson revolver, and it is a model, I think, 610. It's called their Mountain Gun.
I had no idea, and I just
and
saw
the uniqueness about this, JC, what caliber is this chambered in?
10 millimeter. So, wow, it's like a 40 on steroids.
Yes, sir.
It's like almost close to a 41 Magnum. Relatively close, about 100%.
I know my brother's chomping at the bit now. Mike, you're listening, I hope.
So, JC, what, about a 4-inch barrel?
Yeah. Oh,
it looks like adjustable sights on it.
Yep.
It's really beefy. It feels great. It's very Lipsky. So, it is great. What a great mountain gun.
And now what I failed to say, what I tell you guys too, that also along with this special, they've come out, and I don't know the model, but it's in the same mountain gun family, but Lispsey's also put out this in 22 Magnum.
Oh, wow.
So same frame. I think that's going to be on the K-frame, JC. Is that?
It would be a very heavy.
Yeah.
It would be heavy, but yeah, K-frame, it's the most universal frame out there, and even their 500 that's out there in the big K-frames. I mean, because it's the most
6 rounds.
And it's 6 rounds.
Of 10 millimeter.
And 10 millimeter.
Yeah,
so
I wonder
not
what
like
the
a 5
recoil.
round one. It's a big cylinder.
I wonder what the recoil
I'll tell you what it's like when you buy it from me. I'll even let you shoot it.
Will you? Can I shoot it first?
No.
Price tag's a little steep, but it's horrible versus.
No, you're getting someone slapping something there. These are just really top-notch revolvers. Really.
Yep. Priced in just under $1,200, right?
Yep. $11.99.
Yeah, but look at what a class. The 29 is. I think it's in the 30.
Yeah,
I thought that was up in that range. So
29
maybe more.
I didn't think it. I think it was.
Not for what you're getting. No, it really is. This is cool. This is really cool.
Yep. So, guys, it is here. You can come purchase it if Ed doesn't walk out with it today. I think we can get more, too. I don't think they're hard
that's the
to
only
get.
one you have?
That's the only one we have. So, but
that's beautiful.
Yep. Guys, let's go to an early break if that's okay. And on the other side, I can't believe it. On the other side, we're going to talk to Bill Wilson of Wilson Combat.
They're messing up our audio and video as soon as we started talking about that.
Did they stop it?
I don't know. Is it still going out okay, folks, or is it still choppy? Let me know.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to jump to a break. On the other side, we'll talk to Mr. Bill Wilson himself. We're on Target Broadcasting Live from the studios of LEPD Firearms and Range, and we'll be back after the break.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000, and the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that happy place comes in many colors. Like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. Or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to 610WTVN.com/rules. News, traffic, and weather for Columbus. News Radio 610 WTVN.
I'll tell you later.
A Columbus man is facing charges related to child pornography. 50-year-old Jeremy Cordial was arrested Thursday on 2 counts of pandering sexually oriented material involving a minor. Officials say illegal video and image files were found at Cordial's home during the execution of a search warrant. He could face additional charges. Bond is set at $500,000 for a man in Cincinnati accused of fatally shooting a former coworker. Police say 21-year-old Jonathan Morris was fired from a Taco Bell on August 28th and returned the next day and shot 32-year-old Ryan Johnson. The father of 7 died at the scene.
Good.
Scary Fun returns to Cuyahoga Falls today with the 5th annual Nightmare on Front Street. The family event will feature costume contests and live entertainment, along with a number of food, beer, and craft vendors on hand. The event runs from 3 to 8 p.m. I'm Andy Betts.
From the Heartland Bank Studios, Heartland Bank, where banking really feels good.
You want to come up on the radio?
News Radio 610 WTVN.
At the Thompson house, football's on, and the furnace?
Harold, the furnace just grown louder than you getting off the couch.
That means there's still life in it.
Time to call in the pros. New customers get annual furnace maintenance for just $1 for the first month with the Essential Home Care Maintenance Plan.
$1? That's cheaper than Harold's Lucky Jersey, which clearly isn't working.
It's not the jersey's fault. The refs are blind.
Don't wait for the first freeze. Call Airtron and keep cozy, Columbus. 380-215-0459 or dial airtron.com.
Have questions about your financial future? Visit LegacyRetirementGroup.com.
Sports season is in high gear, and iHeartRadio's got it all. The NFL.
It's a touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Baseball postseason.
Tail time in Game 1!
College football, the NHL, and the NBA is about to tip off. It's all right at your fingertips on the iHeart app, with play-by-play podcasts and local stations where you can join the conversation.
I agree with the last caller. We got to be done with that guy.
Join the millions who are already doing it. Open the free iHeartRadio app now. Sports on iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target.
My good friend JC sits to my left, and Ed and his puppy are sitting to my right.
Well, my puppy's not here, but
you are here. That's good. It was great. We have the live studio audience, which we expect to be even bigger next week. Guys, our next guest needs no introduction, but for those who may have forgotten, in 1977, in the small town of Marysville, Arkansas, there was a jewelry store. And by many accounts, that store was in Bill's future because it was a family business. Something happened, though. And instead of fine jewelry, Bill started producing fine pieces. Today, the name Wilson Combat is synonymous with quality, perfection, and service, just like it was 40 years ago. We're honored to welcome for the first time to the show, Bill Wilson. How are you doing, sir?
How are you guys?
We are good. Beautiful day here, and can't complain. It's amazing speaking with you and in the journey you and the company had. Talk a little bit about what were those early days like in getting things off the ground, and when did you first realize that this is more than just a hobby?
Well, I mean, we started off pretty humble. Basically in the back 10 by 20 of one of my father's buildings that was next to the jewelry store, and it was just one man shop, at the start, and the whole philosophy from day one was to deliver a gun that was ready to shoot right out of the box, because the big names in custom 1911s back then, a lot of them had a beautiful handguns, were super accurate, but they didn't always function that well. And if they did, it was after like literally 1,000 rounds of break-in. And so I proud from one to ship a product that was functionally reliable, and already zeroed and basically ready to just, take it out of the box and load it up and be able to trust it. So that's kind of where we started, and that seemed to work pretty well because, we I got swamped pretty quick in the amount of work that came in, due to that philosophy and the fact that, I was, finishing pretty well at some of the matches and stuff. Some of the guns were did well with the matches. And so before I had a bit of help, and I already got the name of Dave Coley, which was just turned out to be a fantastic gunsmith and, a good friend. And, unfortunately he's passed away now. But, we just kind of grew from there. That's kind of the early days.
I've been following you since the beginning because we're about the same age, maybe like in that area. And but I just you started as a watchmaker, and you just know how precision. That's why I always thought that a watchmaker who is just with minute precision, with something that has to be totally reliable, and then to switch over to that, I said, this guy's got to be good. And then I started following you in the competitions with the 8 gun magazines I was subscribing to at that time. So I got to see some of the stuff you're doing. But Bill, you've been great, and I still remember you. We looked a lot like that. We had dark hair, mustaches, and we were really skinny. And, time goes on. But that's how you still were burned in my memory with the competition that you were doing and the matches you were winning and the people you were hanging with. So, anyway, I just really, you've been one of my icons, Bill.
Well, that's cool.
Bill, when did you realize that, because I know in our little humble world here with the store, this started in my garage, basically, and at some point you wake up and and you say, well, okay, I guess this is my career. This is the path. I mean, how long did it take you early on to realize that, wow, this isn't just some little hobby. This is going to be something that we're going to grow and move forward with?
Well, I mean, to back all the way up, I mean, I can't remember when I, wasn't interested in firearms and hunting. I mean, this goes back to my earliest memories. I mean, I was interested in. I just happened to grow up in a jewelry and watchmaking environment and was expected to continue that on. But, I kind of, brokered a deal with my dad. He basically just strong-armed me into going watchmaking and jewelry making school. And I told him, okay, I'll go to watchmaking and jewelry making school if you will let me put in a retail gun shop in that empty building that's one door back from the jewelry store. And I'll come home on weekends and take care of ordering and different things. And I've got a guy that I know can run it during the weekday. And he fell for that deal, and.
Thank goodness for all of us.
Basically, to fast forward, after a couple of years, after I graduated from watch and jewelry making school, I worked on watches probably for 6 months before I was spending all my time in the little retail gun shop. And, then I got into competition shooting and then, decided that I needed a better gun and wasn't happy with what I was getting from some other gunsmiths. And so I decided, well, shit, if I can make these clock parts and work on watches and make jewelry and stuff like this, I can surely work on the big parts in a 1911 handgun. And so that's kind of how it all started out.
Wow. And we're talking to Bill Wilson, Wilson Combat. Bill, how has the business evolved? I mean, obviously, technology has just taken off. But when you look back on those early days versus now, I mean, your factory footprint now is breathtaking. We were watching some videos on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how has that changed? I mean, just the evolution of that.
Well, I mean, if you looked at the Google Maps of the main, plant and compound or whatever, whatever you want to call it or whatever, that's just part of it. We've got another facility 6 miles away up in Arkansas that we manufacture barrels and my R&D department is at. And then down here in Texas, we've got Lehigh Defense, we've got Chip McCormick Custom, so we've got, we just recently acquired a company called Performance Engineering, and so those three companies are down here in Texas. So we've actually got a fair amount of stuff going on.
Wow, one of the videos JC was pointing out to me, and I think it was an expansion maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think it was like 21. I think it was right after COVID. Anyway, I was just so impressed with that expansion. And even if you aren't interested in guns, if you're interested in any kind of machinery, you ought to just look at this video. It's only like 14 and a half minutes long, and the equipment that you have produced and how this works. It's astounding. I mean, it's astounding, Bill. And making your own barrels just from the finished little blanks and just everything that you do, and you do everything using no foreign parts, no MIMs, it's just really top notch. So
it's really, I mean, what's impressive is the same quality and hands-on and customer service and perfection that you were able to do in a little shop when it's a couple of people. They've successfully replicated that in a big operation, which is just tremendous. I mean, usually you lose some of that as you go forward.
Yeah, my family, my brother was is a customer of yours, Bill. He purchased one of the ARs that you made a while back, and it was featured in one of the gun magazines as well, with you holding it. The AR. I don't remember which one. What
he's making a lot of AR
I know,
stuff.
But this one was actually featured in the magazine. If you recall,
oh really?
We got it here.
Yeah.
We had the bipod on it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It had a scope on it. I don't remember exactly what was so special about it, other than it was Wilson Combat, and my brother bought it, and he has just adored it ever since.
And that's a great segue. I mean, Bill, it's not just about 1911s anymore.
Right.
I mean, you talk for a second of your product line and the evolution of that. And, I mean, Wilson Combat is known for so much more now. I mean, today's youth, knows you for the breadth of your product, and it's not just 1911. Talk about some of the products.
Okay, before you're about the customers from the early days, I got to throw out, to people. I mean, all through the years, I've been fortunate to bring aboard some great people, and we've just a team that just keeps getting larger, and so I got to give credit to my people. I mean, that's what makes Wilson Combat successful is the team we built up, and and now we're extremely diverse, which is really good in a market like we're in now, because God, heaven forbid if we only made black guns right now. I mean,
right.
As you probably know, that market is extremely soft, and the fact that we do handguns and we do rifles and we do some shotgun stuff and we do ammo and we do lots of accessories for various guns, and that diversification sure makes it easier to navigate tough business environments.
Right, and in some of the collaborations, I mean, when I was flipping through the web page, it reminded me of some of the stuff that we have on our shelves, the collaborations with SIG on the 365 and the Beretta on the 92s. I mean, some of those are some of the most sought-after items because they're done in conjunction with you guys.
But do you got time for me to tell you the quick Beretta story?
Absolutely.
I've always been a Beretta 92 fan. And I met the people from the Air Force that was doing the initial testing on the gun back before it was adopted at the Second Chance match, and we became good friends. And basically, I was a fan of that platform before it became popular, and I got to collecting 92s. I picked up an early one, and I thought, well, shit, this is pretty cool. I think I'll just collect 90 series Berettas. How many can there be? Variants, 30, I don't know. Well, somewhere when I was up to somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 different variants of the 92, it dawned on me, man, I gotta figure out a way to pay for this fetish, And so that's when I contacted Beretta, and we got to talking about doing collaboration stuff, and it's been a great success, in spite of all the constant employee turnover at Beretta. I mean, about the time you get a good rapport with who you're working for, then they've moved on, and you got to start over with a new person. So that's the difficult part of working with Beretta. But I don't think it's dissimilar than most large firearms companies. But anyway, I guess I had to do something to pay for my habit there, and now I've got, I'm pretty confident the largest collection of Beretta 92s of anybody in the world.
Wow, and I would never have known that. I think most people probably wouldn't have known that. That's fascinating. I know they are always, anytime we get something coming through our store, they sell out quickly.
Yeah, and one of our employees had that Beretta 92. It's the first one I got to handle. So So anyway, it's great, and I'm very fortunate because the gun I treasure the most is I have one of your first CBQs, one of your close quarter battles, and CQBs that are out there, and it's my favorite. So it's what a gun.
So, Bill, as things have evolved, and I know you're in, like us, you've been in this a while, and you get to be a little nostalgic on stuff. What's your take on some of the new stuff now that is common? The red dots, the high capacity double stack version of these 1911s. I mean, did you willingly start to go down these paths, or did you see that's how the market's going, so we need to do it?
Stuff was, we developed the head that turned into some sketches on a napkin to some Consultate 1 as a, higher capacity carry gun. No thoughts about competition or any of the nice kind of gaudy stuff that people like them on them now with huge mag wells and all that stuff. And, I'm not opposed to red, but, I'm about to turn 72. and my close-up eyesight's not as great as it used to be. I'm still not going to put a red dot on my carry gun, and I carry it every day. We both. First thing after we get our pants on, we put a gun in a holster, and we carry every single day.
The fact that you shot probably about 10 million rounds helps you.
I don't see an advantage for a red dot when, statistics show that most, self-defense encounters happen at well under 15 yards, and about 15 yards and out is where the red dot becomes an advantage. So, it's not for me, but I'm not opposed to it. I won't have any of the big old gaudy mag wells on my personal guns, not even my range guns. I just don't go for all that. But if the customer wants, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to personally, use that.
Right. So when you had mentioned carrying every day, and we're on our Facebook feed, somebody had asked, what does Bill Wilson carry every day? What's your go-to, if you can say?
Well, I kind of vacillate between two different guns, and I can't really why I carry one part of the time and why I carry the other one part of the time. I just like both of them. Maybe that's the answer. But on my hip right now, I've got one of our Sentinel frame single stack. It's a little short Sentinel frame that has a flush 8-round mag in it with a 4-inch top end on it, 9mm. And then the other gun I carry is one of our SFX, and I've got a 4-inch top end on it, which makes it easier to shoot. Since I carry point of the hip, the short butt is easier to conceal, and the difference between a 3 1/4-inch barrel and a 4-inch barrel is not. It doesn't hurt to conceal, but it's easier to shoot. That's kind of, if I was of the appendix crowd, I understand why they like flies, but I'd rather have the sight resistance.
Yeah. Bill, unfortunately, we're getting close to the end of time, but I have one last question for you. What would the Bill Wilson of 1977 say if you handed him an X9? Is it just breathtaking versus what you were looking at back then?
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to, pat ourselves on the back. We did a great job with that gun, and as you well know from history, it came to market with hardly any changes from day one. There was very, very minor, Gen 2, Gen 2.0 type of stuff that a lot of companies do now, where they're vetting their product, in the marketplace. That's what would impress me if I looked at it back then. Everything is and how well everything functions about that platform.
Wow, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Certainly, if there's any time you guys announce something, talk, reach out. You're always welcome.
Or if you're in town, stop in and see us.
Yeah, if you ever make it up to Columbus, we'd certainly host you here as well.
Great, sounds great. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, it's a great thing, and I just hope people watch that YouTube thing. It's only 14 minutes. You'll be just astounded at how he produces what he does, how accurate it is.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, thank you, sir, Mr. Bill Wilson of Wilson Combat.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to jump to a break, and on the other side, get to a couple of last pieces of news and wrap it up. We're broadcasting from the studios of LEP Farms Range. We'll be back right after the break.
What do you want?
On all of his guns, they get tested. He said it's very common to shoot 100 rounds of ammo through a gun before it leaves the factory to make sure everything is absolutely on. So the guys who are doing it,
you're just full of it. Telling you things.
We will tell you
to see how they're doing stuff. All the main names guys are out there.
It's hard to hear.
If you dare. People are scared. Ohio's talk station. News Radio 610 WTVN.
See, we'll probably have a good couple minutes.
Aaron bought 41 new trucks, so we can send a rescue technician to your home immediately when you have a problem. When something is acting wonky, get Eco. Our guys can unwonk anything. Get Eco at geteco.com.
I've seen too many seniors blindsided by rising healthcare costs. With over 20 years in healthcare and insurance, I know how quickly things can change. That's why I made it my mission to protect people like you, to be your shield. I'm Kristen Troche, licensed independent agent and owner at Shields Up Health. Let's review your Medicare plan together at no cost, no obligation. Visit shieldsuphealth.com today. That's shieldsuphealth.com.
Not affiliated with the federal Medicare program. By contacting Shields Up Health, you will be connected to a licensed
Classic Air and take advantage of our special 0% interest for 60 months financing. Classic Air, your personal comfort expert. Call at 714-210-3041.
Through October 31st, Awaken 180 is offering WTVN listeners free consultations. Call to reserve yours.
Here ABC Santa clouds, warm and breezy, high of 81. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies, low of 62. Sunday, rain, breezy, high of 68. Currently 73 degrees in your weather station. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Serving Columbus and all of Ohio. News Radio 610 WTVN.
This came across the other day when I was listening to the radio, JC. Really? Yeah. I listened to that new iHeart radio station, 93.3. Is that what it is, Zach? 93.3, something like that? Huh. 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah. I mean, what more could you want, right?
That's it. Well, I can throw some 60s in there. That wasn't bad either.
That's right. Back on Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined today in the LAPD studio. Big to the right, JC to the left, and we just got the phone with the iconic Bill Wilson. I could have talked to him for another whole segment.
Oh, I could talk to him. I mean, the guys he was with, one of the guys that is associated with him, Ken Hackathorn. I took a course from him back in the 70s when
back
I was
up in
Nashville. Yeah, back in the day. It was fun.
Showing your age.
Okay. It was great age. We got another 40 years left.
Big Ed, speaking of showing, when we were on the break here, I brought to you one of the little products we got in. A great stocking stuffer to think about this. Nebo comes out with some really neat lights. Yes, not always ones that, not everyone knocks it out of the park, but this little thing that came is a little, I think call it a puck light. It's magnetic. It has, you can move the head on it, and not bad on brightness, Ed.
Oh, it's very bright.
And then it also has like a little lantern, but kind of a little, nothing under $20 stuffer thing.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
really
not too early to start.
See, we're going to get these from somebody this year.
Huh? Maybe. Rechargeable for that there, JC.
Oh, this is really so good out there.
Hey, I want to say hi to all the people checking into us. We got our regulars that have checked in, and I got my brothers checking in. I got my brother working over there at Market Express checking in. Cindy, Michael, Steve, all the regulars. Good to see you and hear from you. And make sure you guys get a hold of us next week through our email address. Send any questions you have. We have that big show coming up with Zach Klein.
Yep.
Eric, what's that email address again?
That is on target at lepd.com. And better yet, come next week. Come to the studio.
Yeah, come to the studio. Honestly, it'd be even better.
999 Bethel Road. I don't know if we're going to have puppies next week, though, Ed. I mean,
I don't know. I can bring him his sister next week.
Okay.
You want to come say hi to everybody? Huh?
No? Ed now has a puppy now. Yeah.
Another one.
JC, I got you there, Ed. JC, I think we only got probably 30 seconds. There's probably no quick stories for that.
There's a big show. Maybe we'll talk about it next week because another continuing to sue Glock for their manufacture, but there's their new plan. We're getting cities individually to try to bankrupt the country. So instead of having one state doing this or the other,
and that's crazy. I mean, that is
city that has had anyone using, converted it illegally. Hey, we're going to get together. We're going to get this money. And you guys could file individual suits. Let Glock.
Which is crazy, JC, because I mean, Glock certainly did not make their firearms with the intention of having some.
Not according to the suit, where the plaintiffs, they said that they had deliberately designed its handguns to be readily convertible to illegal machine guns and marketed those products in such a way that promoted illegal conversion.
And that's just crazy. I mean, that is to think. If we allow that, I mean, talk about your slippery slope of
that's to
everything.
get around PLCA. So that's because they said, hey, PLCA, you have a big case. No, well, you deliberately did this. So,
that's crazy. Guys, next week, noon at LEPD 999 Beth Road, we're going to host Zach Klein. He's going to sit with us for a special episode of On Target. Email us your questions, ontarget@lepd.com, or give us a call this week. Check it out. Big Ed, thanks for bringing your puppy today. Guys, as always, let's be careful out there.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Save 610 WTVN Columbus on your presets. Free. Never sounded so good.
That's today's news. Now with the weather, Flip Skipperton. Flip.
Really nice autumn weather, Doug. So now's a good time to think about horrible, nasty,
all right,
icky
Mr.
winter.
Zach, we got another one in the books.
Horrible, nasty, icky winter.
What happened to fantastic Flip's
all right, here we go.
Forget that. We're talking Ohio
This is Eric from On Target. This week, Columbus City Prosecutor Zach Klein is in our live studio with us. Come join us right here Saturday noon live from LEPD Studios on Bethel Road.
Apex Pros Tune-Ups keeps your furnace
join us tomorrow at noon or live from LEPD Studios on Bethel Road.
A breakdown would be inconvenient.
Join us today at noon or live from LEPD Studios on Bethel
with your
Road.
fancy hair and nice teeth.
What did I do?
Apex Pros Tune-Ups makes your furnace last longer and promises to lower energy bills.
That is
just
it.
$29.
We always, and this has been something going on forever.
I'm under consideration for the most
sometimes